That's a lot of weeds. Looks like the crop could do with some fertilizer as well. Better get on that one then. Hello and welcome along and welcome back to our Start From Scratch series from the old farm countryside. We're heading down to the shop right now because as you saw in our intro, we are in need of both herbicide and fertilizer for our fields. So we're going to try and get that sorted today. We still have the seed up here. We're going to have to get either sold or... I wonder actually if we can... we should be able to sell that if we can get that to the sell point. So let's just lower our front weight quickly. Like so. We might be able to just sort of line these up and push them into the sell point. Like so. Not great for them, but that will at least get them cleared out of here. And actually should give us a little bit of money back. So let's just... Ah, there we go. Oh no, we can't sell them. We can customize them, but we can't sell them. That is annoying. So we'll have to move those back in a bit. But that's okay. That was worth a try at the very least. So let's have a look at what we have available in our sprayers. So under crop protection here. So we've got the Hardy Mega, which is 35,000. Which obviously we can't afford to buy any of these. So let's look at the details. That would cost 1,700 to initially hire. The big Hardy, which is actually massive, would cost 5,000 to hire. And the Kuhn Metris, that would cost 4,000. So I'm going to go... Oh, no. I am going to go with the Mega. And we're gonna grab this. Holds 2,200 litres, so we'll put a single thing of herbicide in it to start. So let's lease that. Nothing to do on that. Right, and we need to go and put some care wheels on this, I think. Going to be very important. Now, of course, it will cost us to do this here. And this is part of the reason why we haven't hired this tractor. This is why we bought this tractor outright. So, wheel setup. We should be able, not on the Mitas, maybe on the Trelleborg. Narrow tyres, there we go. So we can put narrow tyres on this. So we'll customize that. Doesn't cost us anything. Absolutely fantastic. That is exactly what I wanted to hear. So let's reconnect our weight up. Perfect. And now this is absolutely ready to do our job. To get spraying. Now, of course, we still don't have GPS on here. We could afford it, but I really want to keep working towards buying that next field. And then we are going to have to purchase... Initially, we're going to purchase some herbicide. So we want... So one of these tanks holds 2,000 litres. One of these tanks holds 3,000. 2,500... For the herbicide, 2,000. Oh, wow. We have to go with these. Yeah. Really, really have to go with these. So, let's buy a thing of herbicide. And a thing of fertilizer. Okay. Perfect. Now, at some point, we're going to have to get a trailer that will allow us to transport all this stuff back to our yard. Of course, the field we're trying to buy is our yard. Is field 34. Right, we are full. Let's head up to field 4. I think is probably our first bet. Let's just check. The weeds are growing everywhere. Yeah, 33, 31, and 4 all have weeds. This has quite a nice wide reach on it, this sprayer. This Mega. So this will do us fine. So I'm going to head up to field 4 and we'll get this sprayed and we'll see how much this takes. Actually, no, better idea. Better idea. We'll go and do our other fields first. Because if we need to refill, we can refill on the way to field 4. And we'll have used most of it first doing that. So first, we're going to head up to 33 and get that field done. Field 33 is just up here on the right. And is in fact the field that we did the intro on. So let's unfold this. I'd like to pick these out of the crop. So yeah, we're getting rid of the weeds first. This won't take us very long partly because we've got this nice, massive, big sprayer. And yeah, nice and easy to see where the weeds are. Now this field is partly grown further, so we do want to make sure that we get this. And yeah, look at that width. That is absolutely brilliant. In fact, I think there's 3 different stages of growth on this field. Quite possibly. So we've got to get this fertilized and weeded pretty quickly. So yeah, let's get this done and dusted, and then we can go from here and get the next field done. Final stretch on this first field. And we're getting rid of the weeds quite nicely. We have a bit of an overlap on this final run, which is wasting a bit of herbicide. But it's not too bad. We're going to have used about a quarter of the tank doing this field. Not too bad. I think that field 31 is about the same size, maybe a little bit bigger. So we're going to have plenty of herbicide in just in what we have in our sprayer to do all of our fields, which is really, really good news. I'm quite happy with that. It means that our spend has been a good one. So with this field done, time to head over to our next one, which is our cotton field. So let's get down there and see what the state of that's like. Much like our first field, we have a lot of weeds in it, although this seems to be less highly grown, which is good news. So unfold our sprayer. Don't want to unfold it in the crop. Yeah, seems to be looking good is our cotton on here. Hopefully this is going to give us a nice, a very nice. Whoop, there we go. That had an issue there. This is going to give us a very nice yield if we get this. I don't know what the yield was like on the first field of cotton we had. But certainly it wasn't great. We really, really want to have a good yield off this, and then we will have absolutely paid for the cotton harvester. We're spending about 10 to 20,000 a day at the moment on leasing costs. So we need to make sure that at the end of each day, at the end of each game day, we are actually making enough money to cover the cost of all this. Because if we don't, we are in trouble. One of the nice thing about crops like cotton is how we've got some space between the rows. It really makes it a lot easier to do things like spraying. As does the height of these weeds. We are knocking these weeds down. I think we've got a bit of a mad overlap as well. I didn't quite turn around far enough as I should have maybe. But it is working out well, and we are killing these weeds off, and we do have plenty of herbicide, so it's not too bad. We're going to turn at the end here, and yeah, in a minute we should have this field knocked out. Okay, finishing up the field now, just coming to the end here. Turn it off, fold that up. No, oh, we can get out to the main road this way. Ooh. Although that is a bit of a slope, so I think we need to come round here and round this way. There we go. No slope there, or nowhere near as much slope there. We'll head up here. Quite like the back lanes, the back roads on this map. Really well designed and really well thought out, and make you feel like you're on a full farm, you know, in ways that other maps don't. So yeah, this is a really cool map. I'm enjoying playing this one. Final field coming up on the right now. There we go. And this actually only has first level weeds by the looks, so the weeds have not grown to full height, which is good, but we might as well spray them off with herbicide rather than costing ourselves to get a weeder. It'll be slightly harder to see where the weeds are on this field, but that's not going to be a massive issue. So start it up, and away we go. And you can see it because it sort of weeds them out, but it sort of you get a thicker load of green ahead and a thinner load of green behind. So it is possible to see. It just means you need to take a more aerial approach to it. So yeah, I'm gonna get this one done, and then that will be done for the weeding. We then need to get the sprayer out again, and we're gonna have to do some fertilizing. So it's gonna be around these 3 fields again, and getting that done. So it's all about the spraying today. On to the final stretch now, and I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a definite difference in the amount of green on the row we're on at the moment and the rest of the field. So yeah, you can see where we've been killing the weeds off. We are down to 600 litres, just under 600 litres. I haven't refilled this. I didn't refill this on the way back, because what I wanted to do, it wouldn't have all fit in. And what I want to do is I want to refill it when we get back to the shop, and then unload it all, so we're all then in one pallet, in one tank, which kind of makes sense and allows us to then transport it all back to our farm in one go. But that is all of our fields weeded, which is great. That means that job is done. Now we need to go and grab our... we now need to go and grab the fertilizer and get the sprayer going all over again. Because, yeah, we need to be fertilized as well as killed off the weeds. This is going to give us a really, really good yield on these. Should allow us to move the farm forward quite a bit. And yeah, as I said, all importantly, get as close to buying at field 34 as possible. I'm not too worried if we can't raise all the money, because it's a lot of money. It's like 304,000. If we can get close, if we can get half of it together, then we'll be in a good place. It just will, will improve everything an incredible amount. So, we're back down at the shop. Let's get this refilled and then unloaded. And once we got this refilled and unloaded, we can then fill up with fertilizer and get that sprayed on the fields as well. What I think I might do is I might just get that job done, and then we'll see where we go from there, rather than putting you guys through a second round of spraying today. We're nearly at the end of the second field of fertilizer at this point. So we've done field 4. This is field 31. And our cotton is growing rather nicely. So I don't think it's going to be too long before we're doing a harvest on this. It could be as soon as next episode even, which would be fantastic. This is why we're getting this sprayed now. Why we've been doing the herbicide spraying, and we've been doing the and why we're doing the fertilizer spraying now is because our crops are growing pretty fast, and I don't want us to be in a position where we suddenly go, oh, we've got no, we've not got a maximum yield off our crops, or oh no, we've got to harvest it now, we've still got weeds in it. So that's why we're spending today's episode doing a lot of spraying. Let's head down here. Now I did realise that this, again, what I was saying about the back roads on here, absolutely fantastic, in that this is a road that connects our yard and our farm to our fields. So we've got, our fields are fairly disparate, and I'm actually thinking very hard about maybe selling field 4. It's quite a long way away. Somewhere like field 24 might be better for us to actually own, or even folding the money into purchasing field 20 into field 34. So yeah, there are options with field 4. It is a bit of a way away from us. You can see our field. This is, again, this is nearly ready for, certainly this top row, those soybeans are nearly ready for harvest. A little bit more, and they will be. That really does a lot to shoot up when you first unfold it. Yeah, so we need to get this field sprayed swiftly. So I'm going to get this done, and then we'll go and I'll go pop up to the shop. I'll grab the rest of the fertilizer and bring it back to our farm. And we'll see if there's anything else we can have a look at. Certainly, I think it's worth having a look at Field 4 and seeing if there are any options once we've harvested that to buy something else. That is Field 33 all done, just about. There we go. That is Field 33 all done and dusted, and with that, that's all the fertilizing done as well. We're going to pop back to the shop now, refill this, and then bring our filled sprayer back to the farm because I want to unify the remaining fertilizer we've got, and that will get all of that sorted. And then I think we might have a look and see if there's a mission we can take on quickly. Something, a contract that we can earn a little bit of money with, just to keep our money up. Because if we're not harvesting crops today, we are going to find ourselves spending most of what we've currently got, basically just on leasing our equipment. We've dropped the sprayer off at our yard now. And managed to get actually both the herbicide and the fertilizer, the remaining herbicide and fertilizer, back to our farmyard. We're now in our Lexion 760. We're going to round off this video, this episode, by popping up and doing a contract. So Field 2 is available. It's a £5,000 contract. So definitely worth our time. It is up the top end of the map up here. So we're just driving our class up there now. We'll get this knocked out. It's not a huge field, I don't think. It is. There's not any huge fields on this map really. Probably Field 38, 39 are kind of the biggest. Field 2 is not massive. Won't take us a huge amount to do, especially with this combine. And as a result, we should make a quick buck. Which would be really useful to us going forward, and maybe when we finish that off, Field 4 might be ready to harvest, or Field 31. Although 33, sorry, would be a big traipse back. Yeah, Field 4 certainly is ours up here, and then we can look at what happens with all of this going forwards. With Field 4 going forwards, I kind of want to move it on. I think. Definitely think I'm going to look at selling Field 4 and using the money elsewhere, either to buy a field all on its own, or to plough into Field 34. Right, so I am going to stop that. Turn this around. We'll put the header on the header trailer on the other side of the road, so it's nice and out of the way. Should be a fairly decent yield off this. Of course, we'll make some extra money on top of the 5,000. What is this? What exactly crop do we have in here? So this is barley, fertilized 100%. Needs lime, but otherwise should be a nice little money earner for us. Yeah, not a tiny field by any stretch of the imagination, but not a huge one either. So, start up our combine. Down it goes, and in we go. We're not creating any, or we shouldn't be creating any straw for this, because we can't bale it if we do. We'll take, as normal, we'll take 3 headlands out, and then we'll knock out the rest of the field. Looks like it's done in a north-south setup with a nice big arc on it. So I'm going to knock the headlands out, and then we'll see how full we get. If we get full before the end of the headlands, then we'll get it. We'll come back with the emptying of the combine. So we're nearly at the end of the first headland, and it's 90. Oh wow, it's going to be about a full tank. Oh, pretty much exactly to the end of the first headland. That is amazing. That is absolutely brilliant. It suggests that we're going to have a really good yield on here. I'm going to go right to a full tank. So there we go. We'll get this off the road now. That's pretty cool. That's absolutely brilliant. Now, where's this got to go to? This is going to have to be transported to... right down the bottom. Southwest grain elevator is where this has got to go to. It will take... this will take 2 loads off the combine, thankfully. So that's not an issue. So I'm expecting us to get another headland off here, and with the width of this, we may get away with then setting this on a hired worker and getting it to finish off the field. The headlands are all done, and we're now heading down to the sell point to tip the first load. It is 91% full, so it wasn't quite a full trailer that we got off the headlands. It was full enough for us to go, right, we need to head down here and tip this. So that's what we're doing at the moment. Should be, yeah, there we go. So it's round the back where we had to tip before. And we'll see what percentage this does. And they'll give us a good idea of where we'll be for the rest of the field. Turn that off. There we go. So that is all tipping in now. And we're down to 41%. So it isn't going to be that much. It's going to be like 2 more loads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this back up the field. We'll get the another load done, and then we'll come back for the last load. We'll see how far we are and see whether there's any profit to be had for us from the final load as well. We've just come back from tipping the it should be the second to last load. We're 86% done on this contract now. Our combine is wow, our combine actually is really near the end. So I'm not going to jump out of the our fence here. I'm hoping that there's enough width in our combine that we're going to be able to empty on the return. Yeah, there should be. I don't think this is any wider than our combine. This means that we'll be able to finish the field in one go. It's at 88% full, this combine. Hide worker is not a fan of the crops, but that header is absolutely wider than the remaining field, so that's good news. We're going to pull up alongside. So it won't be our third one will not be a full tank by the looks of things. In fact, it's going to be, well, it'll be a full tank of the combine, won't be a full trailer. It's going to be about 50-60% full. Not the end of the world. That's still going to give us a good amount of money ourselves, especially once we have done this, once we've tipped and completed the stuff for the mission. We're blocking, yeah, we're blocking the combine here. There we go. Just keep your, yeah, there we go. Helper H has completed the task. We will empty the rest of that. 47% on the combine. So we'll get that combine home in a bit. First though, let's go tip this and see where we finish up. Final visit to the Southwest grain elevator, for now at least. And yeah, we have, I think I worked out on the way down here, I'm expecting to sell about half of this for us, with the other half going into the actual contract. So that should cover it. Let's see. There we go, 7,000. Wow. I think we actually, going by the Southwest Grain Elevator, unless that's really worth a lot of money, I think we actually made more than I expected. Southwest Grain Elevator. Let's have a look. It's actually the best price as well for barley. 672. So, yeah. We sold a little bit more than I thought we would. Which is absolutely brilliant. Let's complete our contract. We're up to 28,000. 5,076 on top of that. Collect that. And there we go. We're up to 33,000. Absolutely brilliant. Perfect place for us to end today. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.